Welcome back to True Horsemanship. You've seen this here little filly in the last 2 episodes. I'm going to show it again. Because of weather, I have had a couple more rides on her, but you still be able to see the process. I'm giving her more leg now. She's fighting me, and which is nice because a lot of times I get questions about, well, I put leg on my horse and they kick out. And that's what she might do. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave my leg there, and when she does the right thing, I'll take it off. So then today, if everything goes right, let her tell me. Probably do the first lope, and if I do go in a lope, I won't let her lope too far, just short stints, and then we'll expand it. Because she's doing real good, so I want to keep any explosions down to a minimum, you know, because even though I've been on her back and we've been working on her giving to the bit, with her I am working on a bitless combination, bitless bridle, or you can put a bit in it for training, and then you can be able to rein them. And I did try it out on her, and it really helped with her vertical. Now right now, and I'll explain that when I get in the saddle, I'm not going to be too worried about her being on a vertical when I'm moving. But every time I stop her, I'm going to get her soft in the face and on a vertical, and then we'll back off. Interesting side note, before we start filming, Ray was just trying to throw the rope over her back and she was moving. And so I took her, because I didn't see how he did it. I took her and I'm sitting here throwing the rope and the horse wasn't moving. This is how much horses use the visual part of their brain. Ray, every time he'd be doing this, and me, that's telling the horse to go forward. So when you're doing little things like that, remember, I'm just going to do my little warm-up here to get her focused on me before I get in the saddle. You know, a lot of us guys, we do all the same thing, and a comment was brought up about one clinician who really swings his rope a lot. You know, that's not the way I prefer to do it, but we all got our ways of doing it. Because, you know, when we work, certain people like me who works problem horses, you know, you get so used to the real aggressive horses, so we pick up habits because we try to keep that horse off of us, and then it turns into a habit. But I'm really big in using my body and teaching these horses, like right there. Every time I slack off of her, she comes down to a slower movement. As I like, at the end of the day, like my personal horses, especially Suka, you know, when I do this, I expect them to already turn and move. That way I know this horse's mind's on me. Good girl. Alright, that was a little warm up. You know, I got her focused on me. I'm not going to, and I don't do that to wear the horse down. I do it just to get the horse's focus on me. And ideally, the more time I get in the saddle with her, the less and less time I have to do that. Now today we're going to use more of the arena. Last episode you see me just concentrating on moving her feet, moving her hip. Today we'll move her hip more, we'll move her shoulder, and start putting it all together using more of the round pin, the arena. And I'll be honest with you, I got horses out in the pasture, so I don't know, they might come running up. If they do, hopefully you'll see what I mean about getting control of the horse's feet. So just like what I did last ride, I asked to move that hip. Move the other hip. I'm not going to just get her out going. Now I'm just going to walk her off. I ask for a stop with my body first. I'm going to grab her mouth a little bit. She's not allowed to walk forward. I'm pushing the back of my cantle and using my feet. Then I just relax my hands and my body, then we'll grab her face, get some softness, then we're going to walk out. Move that shoulder. Move the other shoulder. And like I said, you notice I just didn't go right to the rail. I started out my little circles. We're going to work this rail just a tap right now at a walk. Yeah, I can bump her up and start loping her and everything else, make myself look good, but it's not going to do Ray the horse any good. So you notice that time I just disengaged that hip a little bit. Instead of just keep doing a roll back, rolling back on the rail. Right there, I'm going to move that shoulder. And you see her get a little witchy there. I just left that leg on her. Right there, she's fighting my hand a little bit, so I'll pick up. You know, this is going to be a good example. See what y'all going to have to run into. Now I'm going to just let her travel down the rail. But I'm going to use all my arena now. Not just going to use now right there you saw me pick up my direct line, but also you saw me pick up my outside line when I was going around that circle. So we're just going to let her move out. At some point I'm going to pick up my rein, move the hip. Ask to move that shoulder over after I disengage. What I'm doing when I disengage that hip, I'm waiting to, and that's a feel thing. I'm waiting to feel one hind foot to set, and then I'll move this shoulder just like that. So right now, to me, still worrying about doing a lot of upper movements and everything. I just want to control her feet, because I'm dealing with a hot-blooded type animal, Andulasian. Of course, she's not like California bred types, but so I know once she gets comfortable, she's going to move out a lot easier for me. So what I want to train is a horse that I can have either or. I can just ride loose rein, or if I want a fancy looking horse, I gather her up and do dressage moves or whatever with her. And you notice I'm not stuck on that rail. I see too many people worry too much about the rail, worry about the rail. I want to teach her to go straight right down the middle. The reason being, I don't want to get her to use that rail as a crutch. Oh, and somebody asked me about neck reining. From day one, I started neck reining this horse. I'd always lay this, if you watch me, this rein always comes first, and then my directional rein. It's like right down there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my neck rein on there, and there we go. And this is just after a few rides. Right now, her gait's speeding up. Right now, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to let her move out. So now we're going to start asking for a lope. So I want her to know she can move. I'm going to check her, do one rein stop. Now, she's loped on her own, but it was a nice controlled lope. It wasn't bolting, so I just sort of sit here and let her go. But right now, at a lope, I'm not going to ask for a hard stop. I'll probably one reiner. Now, since she did lope right through here, I'm going to take her back and walk her through it. In other words, I don't want her getting a habit every time she goes through there, get in a hurry. So now I'm going to grab her face a little bit. All right, there she comes to my hands. I release. Grab her face a little bit. Right there. And she's going to get a little fussy. She's a green horse. Right there, she popped her leg. Ask for a vertical. Ooh. Ride backwards. Right now I'm not too worried about backing up straight, because when it all comes together, it's up to me as a rider to straighten her out, and she'll back up straight. So now we're just going to walk. I might put my inside leg on a little bit, pick up my rein. She's going to fight it. And all that's coming from she don't want to move off the leg. Right there she does. That head tossing. It wasn't from the bit, it was her reacting to my leg. So I kept it there until she did it right there. She's reacting to the leg. I keep my leg there. I keep it. Right there, she moves off of it and I back off of her. I'm going to extend her trot some. You know, trot, especially extended trot, if you can sit it, is one that's fast enough to get the horse the idea of doing it at a faster speed, but slow enough where you can correct the mistakes pretty easy. I'll walk down the center, and we go down the center. Oop. Right there, I grabbed her because I used my body. I verbally cued her, and we're going to bump it up a little bit. So first couple of times, yeah, I'm going to grab her a little bit. After I say ho, she's got one stride to stop. Then after a while, I'm going to have to use my hands. She knows. We'll extend her out again. Look down the middle. Ask for a stop. Now, that time said I didn't have to grab her. I had my reins short enough where I knew where I wanted that head position, but I didn't have to pull back any tighter. Now I'm riding more forward. That's why you see me leaning forward. Don't push her. She goes to the lope, I'm going to leave her alone. Right there, I checked her. Ooh, I just checked her. Just a little bit. Because I want to build on that lope. Do it again. Took less. She came out, so I'm not going to worry about it. Lope a little farther, Ooh. Now right there I didn't grab her super hard because she wouldn't been fair to her. So see, I'm going through all the steps, just like the beginning. I'm just opening up my horizon, taking one step at a time. Because at the end of my training session, I want to be able to look back and say, this is what went well. Now, I'm not going to focus on what went bad, like her kicking out and all that. I just ignore it. It'll go away. I'll bring her down to walk a little bit. Go back, disengage her hip. Now her head swinging right now is her mane's touching her ears, and she don't like it. A lot of people say, well, she don't like the bit. It doesn't have nothing to do with bit. It's got to do the fact she don't like her mane and forelock touching her ears. So even that, after a time, will go away. I'll start, give her a little bit of leg there to back her up. There we go. This filly, nice filly, she hasn't bucked with me at all. The little bit she's done today is about the worst she has given me. Ray, you want to put them two together? You want to put them barrels together, please? No. So I can't stress the fact, take one step at a time. Now me, I'm going to play a little bit and pop over these barrels. But the only reason I feel comfortable doing it is I know I got control of this horse. I got control over her hip. I got control over her shoulder. If I want a one-reiner, I can. So if you're a medium type rider and haven't started too many fillies, I will be honest and say I don't recommend this. Now when I do something like this with a green horse the first time, I'm always going to jump towards the gate, because they're less likely, they want to go towards that gate, so it's easier for me to get them over something like this. And that was the purpose why I started out with them apart. Good girl. That was better. Well, that was nice. She did it nice and smooth. And I just let her have her head. I put my hands up here so I could be in position. So, this is, and Ray can confess to this, and Cindy too, because of the weather we've had out here. She hasn't had as much time I like to have her on her. But she's doing real good. And she is making a lot of progress. But for y'all out there, it's nice because you get to see the little changes as she's going. But this be for her last episode for a little bit, because I want to put more saddle time, a couple weeks. You'll see her in the near future, but it won't be next week's episode. It'll be probably a week after that, because by that time you're going to see a totally different horse. And you'll see in a short bit of time, with just making sure all the bases are covered, being true to this horse, speaking loud and clear to it, and know what you want. Don't worry about the little, like her. She's worried about the hair touching her ear, so she's throwing her head a little bit. If I give her a little leg, she's reacting to that. And that's once in a while you'll see me go to my strap, because I don't want to take that leg off of her, but I don't want to keep pestering her either. So I just go to my rein and pop her on the butt a little bit and say, hey, let's go forward. So when she does, then I'll take that pressure off. She's got to learn how to control that. If I kept coddling her every time she kicked out, I say, poor horse, he don't like that. We'll be 6 months down the line and we're dealing with a mare. So if I let her get by with that, that's going to, this mare tries, but I don't want to take that try away from her. So I got to say, hey, this is what I want. You do the right thing, then all that pressure is going to come off you. But if I took that pressure off too soon, it's going to affect somewhere on the trail or wherever. So that's the reason behind that. So that was pretty good. This filly did pretty. I wasn't really planning on doing that, jumping. I would have had her booted up, but I had to try it. So anyhow, you know, that's all I can say is just be true to the horse. Take one step at a time. Don't get too much caught up in some things. Think of the positive. At the end of a training session or a ride, think of positive what happened. That's the key thing. So, as I always say, be true to the horse. They'll be true to you. First and foremost, be true to yourself. To my kids, my grandkids, special person out there, watch State of Lake Katie, God bless. Take care.